First off, I'd like to thank EA for inviting me to Germany, which allowed me to capture this footage of Star Wars Battlefront II at Gamescom. Anyway, as we saw in the Battle of Fondor, Starfighter Assault is a far more objective-based game mode than 2015's Fighter Squadron. This makes for a more interesting and dynamic gameplay experience, but it also means that the dynamic has changed. Enter the TIE Bomber. In the current build of the game, this ship is an absolute beast, but not just against enemy fighters, because obviously, it's a bomber, which is a brand new role in EA Battlefront. It's a new role to fit the new dynamic of the new game modes, which include many objectives. A few of which, such as the Corvette, require some heavy firepower to take down effectively. Luckily, the TIE Bomber and the Y-Wing are both outfitted with plenty of ordnance, including explosive ordnance, to take these objectives down quickly and smoothly. But this video is about the TIE Bomber and not the Y-Wing, mainly because the TIE Bomber currently is OP. I don't know how OP it's gonna stay, but it's equally as effective against fighters in dogfighting as it is against objectives in bombing. Firstly, I want to talk about abilities. The TIE Bomber's #1 ability, in my opinion, in terms of importance, is electronic countermeasures by far. This is a pretty unique ability that not many other ships have. It allows you to dodge the ever-difficult missile locks. Evading missile locks are now manual. You no longer have a button on the D-pad to press to automatically do a maneuver like a barrel roll to get out of the way of a missile. Now you have to do that manually, and it's actually pretty damn tricky, especially because you have full control over your ship, which means if you're navigating in tight corridors and you have to manually evade that missile, that's going to put you in a really tough spot and it's going to be difficult to maneuver. But if you activate electronic countermeasures, not only can it break missile locks, but it also prevents targeting and missile locks for a short period of time. But this is a bomber, so let's talk about ordnance. Multi-missile lock is something that actually surprised me. I was assuming at first that this was something that you could lock onto a target and shoot multiple missiles at, but yes, you can do that. However, you can also lock onto multiple targets and shoot those missiles at those individual targets, McCree style.
Y-wing bombers are getting through. They must be stopped.
So if you wanted to, you could just run after a Corvette objective, for instance, and lock all those missiles onto the target, unload an immense fast array of damage. Or, let's say the Rebellion is sending in a fleet of Y-Wings. You can pop electronic countermeasures, get out of a dogfight, position yourselves at the rear of the wave of the Y-Wings, and then engage your multi-missile lock, sending out a deadly barrage to all of them. And finally, you got dual Proton torpedoes, which is pretty self-explanatory, but there's nothing more satisfying than following up a multi-missile lock on a Corvette with dual Proton torpedoes. 1-2 punch. It can't take much more of that. And last but not least, we've got some pretty heavy blasters built into this thing. The primaries deal incredible amounts of damage to enemy fighters, and it makes it a formidable dogfighter, but you could also use those primary blasters against weapon placements, enemy objective ships. It's quite versatile. In fact, for a bomber, this ship is extremely versatile. Perhaps too versatile. Now you gotta keep in mind, the game isn't out yet. I see a lot of people making guides for this game. It's not finished being developed and people are making guides. I'm gonna wait until it's closer to launch before I start making guides. Anyway, right now this is the best ship in Star Wars Battlefront II in my opinion, even surpassing a lot of hero ships. It may not always have the same damage stats as it does right now, but with the new emphasis on playing objectives, the importance of this ship's role is set in stone. Combine that with a perfect combination of abilities and you've got yourself a winner. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now so I can leave you with a little bit of eargasm goodness, otherwise known as DICE sound design. But if you're a fan of Star Wars or a fan of Star Wars Battlefront 2, consider subscribing because this channel is a great source for it. I've got a lot of informative and entertaining stuff to come in the form of videos, live streams, and guides, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and stay tuned to the end of this video for other Star Wars Battlefront 2 goodness.
It remains. If it fails, the path to the Star Destroyer will open. Great work. Generators down. The dock is unshielded. Intercept their X-Wings. Failure is not an option.
I'm not sure I can keep this thing in the air. And that's how it's done.
The first step in their plan will be to destroy our cruisers. Y-wing bombers are getting through. They must be stopped.
Got him!
Rebel blockade runners have initiated their attack run. Stop them.
We may have to finish this battle without one. Good hit.
A Y-wing squadrons appear. Do not allow them to complete their bombing run.
Get out of there!
The first step in their plan will be to destroy our cruisers. Y-wing bombers are getting through. They must be stopped. Rebel blockade runners have initiated their attack run. Stop them. We must not allow them to disable our cruisers. Rebel reinforcements have arrived. Y-wing bombers. Keep them from reaching the dock. Rebel Y-wings are bombing the docks. Eliminate them. Our defenses have sustained heavy damage. They can't take much more.
Target neutralized.
A Y-wing squadron's initiated its bombing run. Stop them from reaching the dock. Defend our cruisers. Stop them here. We've lost one of our cruisers. Defend the one remaining.